Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kappa Invitational. We're here in the upper bracket today. We've had two best-of-3 series, though they've been rather spread out. Our second heat today is going to be Team Rave versus Team Fnatic. I'm Zyori doing some solo coverage for this one. We'll take a quick glance at the bracket for those of you at home to follow all of the progress in our first season of the Kappa Invitational. $10,000 on the line and some big Dota coming up today. Of course, we are casting over the Dota Pit LAN, which is going on today. Day 2, first series is underway, so understand if there's a little more VOD viewers than usual on this hyped series. And this should actually be one of the better series of this upper bracket at the very least. I think coming into this tournament, Rave and Fnatic, two of the top teams that everyone was excited to see. We saw Team Rave in their opening match, and it was complete domination. I think it was like a 9-minute victory, an absolute slaughter. And this is their new roster. Breezy is Jo, and then Derp and Rappy or Rapey, whatever the hell his name is, joining Ryor as well as Ninja Boogie. So it's quite the lineup for Team Rave, and they should be formidable opponents here against Team Fnatic, the team in the SEA region that truly needs no introduction. All right, so let's take a look at this draft a little bit here. I think nothing too surprising about these bans coming out already. We have sound, right?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we sure do. All right, good. Earth Spirit as well as the Bat Rider taken out right away by Team Rave, and Lone Druid as well as Enchantress by Fnatic. So Invoker Sven for Fnatic and Nature's Prophet Lion for Team Rave. My God, Lion has been fresh in my memory after watching day 1 of Dota Pit yesterday. We've seen a lot of really top-tier Lion play just across the board, and for good reason. I honestly don't really know why this hero has fallen out of prevalence. He has an absurd amount of utility, and AoE stun. If you can hit multi-hero Earth Spikes, it completely changes the dynamic of the hero. Blink Hex Initiation, never a bad thing to have. We've seen Lions continually find ways to get farm early on. Just a couple of stacks, a couple of rotations. You can have a 10-15 minute Blink Dagger without too much trouble, and that's a game changer. Of course, the burst damage from Finger of Death and even Mana Drain, a spell that's often overlooked. It instant kills illusions, and we've seen illusion-based strategies really come into their own towards the tail end of this patch. So not surprised to see the Demon Witch grabbed. Great against Invoker, great against Sven. It's good to have someone who can blink Hex to initiate. So once the BKBs come out, it's not the end-all, be-all. BKB just destroys your team. You have a way to counter it if you can find the jump, if you can get there first to make the fight happen. Looks like Team Rave wary of some pushing type strategies here. Chen as well as the Brood Mama taken out of the pool by them, and Spectre Vengeful Spirit by Fnatic. Some very good fighting heroes. More and more, we've seen Spectre as that fighting carry, not just the, sorry, y'all, it's 4v5 till I get my Radiance. She's getting involved now. We're seeing more urns picked up. We're seeing early diffusals. We're seeing this combative Spectre who can come online pretty early, join the fights basically whenever Haunt is up, and then just go right back to farming and still usually end up with a fairly well-timed Radiance. Now, Ursa, not a bad pick here. Pretty good to have against Sven, as we've talked many a time. Sven, one of the heroes, very susceptible to being kited around, and now they've got 3 tools, well, really 4 tools to deal with him. They've got Sprout, they've got the 2 disables from Lion, and they've got the Earth Shock from Ursa. A spell that's also pretty often overlooked at level 4, 55% slow. The damage, pretty negligible. That's a 55% AoE slow on a 5-second cooldown. So yes, of course, Sven has War Cry to move a little bit faster. Of course, he's going to get a BKB, right? He'd be crazy if he didn't. But that slow is going to be really helpful until the BKB comes out. And, well, speaking of slows, Darkseer for Fnatic. Okay, a nice lane dominator. Can put a lot of pressure on Ursa if he is indeed the safe lane farmer. Also good to have against Sven for the same reasons that I just mentioned. Giving him the movement speed. Surge to get rid of all of those movement slows, all of those snares, if you will. And give Sven that little rocket pack. You know, let him cruise around a little faster so that he can get in there and swing that big sword and do the big damage. Fnatic definitely has the beginning of a really scary team fight here, though. And I think something like, well, they're going to have Darkseer for the off lane. Honestly, I think something like a Disruptor could be very good here. Good initiation for Fnatic as well. It takes a little bit of onus off of the Darkseer and Sven so they can kind of follow up off of a glimpse or a good Static Storm kinetic field rather than go in and be the initiators themselves. Just good synergy with those heroes. I was thinking of Void at first, but I don't think we're going to see a support Void here, given that Fnatic have opted to grab their 3 cores picked up already. Even like a disruptor into a more position 5 support that can kind of work the jungle a little bit and help the team. Like a Crystal Maiden is coming to mind for me. A little bit of extra disable, but also that mana aura, help out the lanes, give that the team that extra little buff. Team Rave, though, they've got kind of an awkward lineup here. Right now, they've got a little bit of everything. A good disable and support, a good split pusher in the off lane, and then this kind of versatile Ursa who they could put in a medley of different lanes. We'll see how they want to set up Fuzzy Wuzzy here. That is one of the nice things about a third pick Ursa is you can opt to put it in the jungle.
Puck. Fnatic's turn to pick.
Ooh. A Puck. Very interesting. Well, it's a good bit of team fight for Team Rave, that's for sure. And looking at these 3 heroes, they needed some kind of an AoE disabler, some kind of an AoE damage dealer as well to kind of pull this whole team together. You need someone in that mid game to control the tempo, and I imagine this is going to be a mid Puck. I think it'll be Prophet offlane. Like, there's a lot of ways they could do this, right? They could jungle the Prophet, safe lane the Ursa, off lane the Puck, and then grab another or grab their mid hero with this last pick. They've got a lot of options, actually, and we've seen a fairly small amount of Puck, to be perfectly honest. And I think the bit that we have, he's been in the mid lane, a pretty good hero to have against all 3 of the first picks from Fnatic. And there it is, the Disruptor, a natural pick here. I really don't think there was a better support choice to go in that slot. But Puck is really good against all 3 of these cores. Good against Darkseer and Sven because of the Dream Coil, can kind of lock people in place or at least make them think twice about walking in, or leaving the area of the coil. I really like the idea of an Ag Scepter on Puck against Sven, because you'll see a lot of Svens pick up the BKB, run at people, and sort of get that God's mode. I'm God's strength and I'm immune to magic. I'm running in. God damn it. And the Dream Coil snap with an Ag's upgrade is like a 4.5 second stun through magic immunity. I mean, that's almost the entire duration of a 5-second BKB just in the coil snap itself. So it's a really good tool to deal with Sven, even once the magic immunity has come out onto the field. Also, just good to have silence against Invoker as well as Darkseer, stop the surge, good initiator. Remaining. But I could also see this Puck getting bullied a little bit. I think Disruptor is, in general, pretty good against the Fairy Dragon. Very elusive hero that can often get away from sticky situations. And, well, we know Disruptor is pretty good against heroes that have those big mobility tools. Final bands coming out here, though. It is going to be Tusk as well as Oracle by Fnatic. Forgot about Oracle. I feel like we have not seen very much of that hero in this SEA tournament, even though he's been still kind of around the meta, at least hit or miss here. Still think something like a CM could be good for Fnatic's final pick. For Team Rave, what combos well with the Lion? And again, this last pick is going to be pretty telling of how Rave want to set up these lanes. If we're going to see more of a greedy 4 in either the Prophet or the Ursa, or if Lion is more of the 4, and we're going to see that position 5 picked up right here.
Reserve time.
I feel like they're going to need a little more late game. I mean, right now they're one of these lineups where they have a little bit of push in the Prophet, but they're not going to be able to end the game before Sven comes online. And I don't think they've got a late game advantage here based on the current 4v4 rosters we're seeing. They go with the Doom, so it is another greedy pick. And they are going to utilize the jungle, no doubt about it. And this does help secure some of their late game. Always good to have a Doom against, well, pretty much everyone. Sven, Darkseer, Invoker all dislike the big fiery demon there. All right, an interesting, well-rounded roster here from Team Rave. I like that they went the more greedy route, thinking, well, Invoker's probably going to go Midas. Sven's definitely going to have some space to farm. Fnatic are not going to be looking to fight until the mid-game when that team fight synergy really comes online, when they have the mech. So they think, let's fight greed with more greed. And we're going to put Doom in the jungle. We're going to have Lion support the Ursa. We'll off-lane the Prophet, and Puck should be able to hold his own mid. And we saw Puppey play a position 4 Doom yesterday. I think it was in the first match that Secret played, actually, against Na'Vi. And they did win that game. So it's not all bad. It's just greedy. That's basically the best way that I can summarize it. Now, another greedy pick here, Fnatic. They don't go with the Crystal Maiden. Instead, they grab the Enigma, picked up by DJ. So a good greedy jungling support here. Disruptor will be the 5, and Enigma should be able to make use of that yummy jungle. Ooh, Sunstrikes. That's cute. Let's take a look at these starting items here. Anything too crazy about it? Nope, doesn't look like it. But my God, Fnatic, they're off to the aggressive here. Get the Disruptor down in the bottom lane. Looks like he's got a couple of wards to plant. And up top, Ohio TP's in and just gets a ward down outside of this big old pole camp here to give some intel into that whole entryway into the dire jungle there. Other Sentry or Radiant Observer ward will come down on the high ground here behind this tree. That's a cute little ward spot. I feel like we don't see that one very often. Pretty easy to miss as an observer, but it is on the high ground there. And I'll take a look at the intel it gives. Yeah, just all that beautiful vision into the river. Does not quite give vision of the rune, but I think pretty unlikely that this ward gets countered early on. Really interesting placing. All right, so this is a best of 3, folks. Once again, for those of you joining us a little bit late here, I know Dota Pit's going on. Thank you for joining us for Fnatic versus Rave. This is upper bracket. Winner of this will be moving on to the semifinals, and loser of this will be moving down to the lower bracket. So no elimination here today. At least not for this series. That doesn't mean it won't be a good one. This is the new lineup from Rave. Breezy is Jo. Just as an FYI, he is their position 1 player, a name that you'll probably recognize. I don't know if he's just tagged up funny or if there's a real name change in the works, but that at least is Jo. Bounty runes coming out, 1 apiece. One goes the way of the Puck, and one goes the way of the Invoker. So it will be Puck versus Invoker here in the mid. Puck going with the null tally to get started, and Invoker picks up the Wraith Band. I think this should be a pretty good matchup for the Invoker. Puck has and should have an okay time early on here. Decent starting damage, especially with that null tally and the fairy fire for an extra little bit. But mid one should be able to start to bully him as more experience comes out and more rotations come through. Up top here, what's going on? Derp's doing the old wraparound. They're trying to pressure Ohio really hard early on. Nothing skilled up on the Ursa quite yet, but the Starkseer does need to be careful. They're trying to force him to level up Surge, and they'll get it. It's a minor victory there, and at least that's half a level of experience now where Ohio's not going to be able to pressure the lane with the Ion Shell, and this Ursa can farm safely. Ursa's a great carry in the sense that he can definitely go man mode against Sven for at least a significant portion of the game, but in terms of the lane, it is tough. They need to zone out this Darkseer as much as they can because he is not the best hero to deal with Ion Shell. He ain't no juggernaut, as they might say. And they'll continue to throw auto attacks into Ohio, get him down to about half health. He still has plenty of regen, though, and we'll feel okay about it. Both teams starting off greedy here. Boots first, Doom in the jungle. Ninja Boogie will hit level 2, picks up that Satyr. It's the plus 6 HP regen. Not a bad creep to have early on. The Hadouken borderline useless, but mostly because of mana pool. The damage is good, of course, but yeah, 200 mana pool not going to give you a hell of a lot. And, of course, the jungler on the side of Fnatic. That's DJ on the Enigma. Enigma, one of the fastest, if not the fastest, junglers. Especially if left unchecked. He can keep up with mid and should be able to ding level 6 right around the time they do, all things equal. And that is definitely before Doom should be able to find his level 6 if he doesn't have any stacks or any help clearing out the jungle himself. Greed with more greed. This should be a pretty quiet laning stage here. Both teams just ready to farm. Of course, Fnatic will get aggressive eventually. Their team fight is just incredible here. Black holes, static storms, meatballs from the skies. Ohio could be in some trouble here. The Hex comes out just a little bit too late. He's already surged. The surge is level 2, and 4.5 seconds will be plenty of time to run away. It's one quick fish. Almost a first blood, but still putting a lot of pressure on him up there. Mid lane, going the way of Puck. 10 and 5 there. Mid one, only 6 and 2. So Ryar having a pretty good time. We'll see some Forge Spirits start to come out, and this is where things should get a little bit easier for the Invoker. Doom going to take that free trip back to the well here. Looks like he did pick up his Oov as well as his TP scroll. Meanwhile, up top, Ohio again initiated on, but the surge is there. And he'll be just fine. All right, standard things happening across the board here. Net playing the Sven. He's level 4, putting Max in the Great Cleave here. The farming build. Basically the standard these days, the value point in Stormhammer. The damage scales pretty well, but 2-second stun at level 1, that is a value point, baby. Mid lane, mid one. Is this going to be a kill? Eats the Fairy Fire, might turn it around. Cold Snap on Ryar, my God. The Puck completely underestimating the turn power of the Evoker, and there you have it. That's your first blood. Forged Spirit plus Cold Snap is one scary combo. And the Puck will pay dearly. It wasn't even mid lane before that, but now it's all Invoker all day. Rotation down bottom from the Doom. Ninja Boogie. He's going to pop a smoke. He's going to come on down. Throws the boulder toss onto 3-4-3. He'll get the kill on the Disruptor. Nice rotation there. But old Rapey, he's going to be in some trouble. Sunstrike will be on the mark, and the Nature's Prophet will fall. A 1-for-1 in the bottom lane. Invoker getting credit for that one. I think Fnatic should be all right with that trade. You know, giving Doom a kill, you don't want him to get too much momentum, but Invoker getting the counter kill from the mid lane. He's now almost 6, half a level above the puck. Back-to-back kills. He's now in great shape. He's completed his Aquila, 1,400 gold, and I think this is a straight Midas at this point. And he went from struggling a little bit in the initial last hits to, I'm going to have a Midas on point with my best timing. And that's what we call the dream, ladies and gentlemen. Dreams coming true. We're going to see a rotation mid. Old Invoker, be careful, buddy. Ninja Boogie's coming. He's got another boulder toss, but do they have the follow-up damage here? Infernal Blade comes out. Puck following up with some auto attacks. There's an Enigma nearby, but he won't rotate in to save him. They'll get the kill on the Invoker. Ninja Boogie will walk away. If DJ only could have rotated a little bit faster, they could have made it a 1-for-1. But for now, it is just a 1-for-0. Illusory Orb does connect on DJ. He clears out the tree line. And will just go back to farming and hold the lane while his Invoker's dead. A little bit of vengeance there for Team Rave. They strike back and make that much-needed kill. Puck gets credit for that one as well, and he gets a little bit of time to farm in the lane while Invoker is indeed dead. Man, these Doom rotations have been on point. Ninja Boogie off to a great start. 5 minutes in, he's already set up 2 kills for his team. He has died once, but hardly counts. Was definitely intentional against the neutrals there. That'll pick up his Tranquil Boots, and now his life gets a lot easier. Both jungling and rotating around. Up top, Ohio, initiated on as he TPs in. Barely gets off the surge, but he's low on regen. Gets the turn on Derp. Oh, man, Rapey on his way in. He's going to dive the tower. Gets the Sprout on Ohio. Will find this kill, but it could cost him his life. He's going to try to run away. Thunderstrike, there will be a glimpse if needed. He's already used it. And the Prophet will fall. A crazy dive there. A 1-for-2. They get the Darkseer that they came for. It's actually well, that was a 1-for-2. Line died. There you go. Madness. Madness, I tell you. Invoker died again. My God. I thought there was a setup coming mid. So Invoker just died back-to-back while that fight was happening. Up top, we're going to see 3-4-3. Oh, this Doom is nasty. He's just walking around chopping people down. You get the boulder, you get the Infernal Blade. This is disgusting. I mean, how do you deal with this? He just dove to a tier 2. It's not like you can say that Disruptor was overextended. You can't say that he should have known better. Great warding, though, from the Dire here. Mid lane on lockdown. This one's soon to expire. They've got a good lane ward here as well. They can see exactly when the Darkseer is coming back to the lane, if any rotations are coming. This Rave lineup, man, I'll tell you what. We haven't seen them too much with this current roster, but they are looking good. Up top, we're going to see Ohio initiated on again. Nature's Prophet on the way. Sprout may get there in time. No, Ohio outranges it, but he's not in the clear yet. Still 3 seconds before the surge is available. Ninja Boogie trying to chase him down with the Scorched Earth, but he will be able to surge right into a Sprout. Breezy on his way. Jo can't quite get the Earth Shock. They'll hit him with the Infernal Blade. And he will make it back to under the tower. My God, this is rough stuff for the Darkseer. Not even level 6 yet. He's only died once, which seems unbelievable, given how much pressure has come his way. Down bottom now, we're going to see Fnatic take this opportunity to push this tier 1. They'll cleave down all these treants. Net, level 8 now, maxed out the cleave, has his power treads. We'll be interested to see what build he goes for here. Could go for an armlet, could rush a blink dagger, could look for a farming tool. His first item pickup should be pretty telling of how Fnatic want to play this early game here and what they want to do with this Sven. Do they want to farm? Do they want to fight? Or do they want to do something in the middle? What in the hell is going on here, Fnatic? All right, well, it looks like Fnatic's having some connection issues here. No problem. We got plenty of time for a pause, folks. Take a look at our F5. So DJ will be rushing mech. Looks like he's doing all right. 10-minute mech, kind of that gold standard. And if they knock this tower down, they might actually get it. Well, that ain't good. Oh, Ninja Boogie. Oh, you. And Invoker should be pretty darn close to this Midas. Oh, man, he's actually not. Those back-to-back deaths really set him back. It seemed like for a second there that mid one was going to be able to pull away, and then Rave just struck back. They kill him once with a good rotation from the Doom. We were watching the fight up top, and the Invoker gets killed again by another Doom rotation that he just simply wasn't ready for. While we're in this pause here, we can take a look at, we can relive the first blood. Basically the standard these days. Oh, we don't want to listen to me recast it. That's not what we're looking for. So we did catch it a little bit late here. Invoker was already at half health, I think, when we get to the first blood. Come on, Zyori, you can do it. Ryo mans up. He eats the Fairy Fire, drops the Cold Snap, and just turns. And that right there is one of the reasons why Invoker is just such a dirty bastard. Most other heroes, that's just a free kill. No question about it. You run in on him, you silence him, and you bring him down. Invoker just turns and makes it rain. Well, Fnatic, what now? What do we do? Do we play the Little Mermaid? Do we tell a funny? Do we sit here and observe a moment of silence for Fnatic's poor connection? Somebody find their packets, god damn it. Looks like they're coming back here. That's good. All right. Looks like the old 1-2, kick the modem, give it the old reset. Seem to be sufficient, at least for now. Gold graph still pretty stalled out here. Fnatic with a very minor gold lead. I think a lot of that coming from the Enigma. Even though Doom's rotations have been on point, DJ has been farming a little bit more effectively and does have an experience edge, a full level ahead. So now that we've resumed here, Midnight Pulse comes out behind the tower, and it looks like this tier 1 will probably go the way of Fnatic. Eidolon's still laying into it, and Sven will grab himself the last hit there. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, now that we're resumed, Puck and Invoker going at it again. Oh, Rapey, oh god, he's coming in. Right into the Sprout, mid 1 gets caught by the Dream Coil. Maybe he can turn this again. Sunstrike connects. He almost gets the puck, but he'll phase shift it to live. Now 3-4-3. Wants a counter kill. He's trying to find vengeance for his fallen comrade, but might not be able to do it. He barely survives himself. The Sprout will keep him alive, and then he walks away. Now DJ rotates in. Black Hole is available, but the follow-up damage is not there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Net takes a Doom, followed up by Derp, and this should be a kill. No one there for the deny, and old Derpy himself gets credit. 2 cores down on the side of Fnatic. Rave doing a great job with these micro skirmishes, just finding little 2-on-1s all around the map. If they can continue to find pickoffs like that, we're really going to see the difference in the gold graph here coming up before too long. El Breezy up top, nothing but a Morbid Mask, not going to be able to close the gap here on Ohio. They don't have a Dream Coil. This feels ambitious. 20 seconds till that comes up, and Ohio will make it back. Ohio has found his level 7 now, but he is definitely still struggling in terms of farm. He is at the lower end of the net worth. He is the position 4 at this point, and it's the Enigma that's taken over as the position 3 farmer. I like the idea from Fnatic here, though. Group up and utilize their pushing prowess. They've got Forged Spirits, they've got Eidolons, and they're going to make it happen. They're going to put pressure on this tier 1. Rave, they're going to contest, though. Here we go. Kinetic Field to start things off. Mid 1 just gets obliterated. They'll use the Dream Coil, and Fnatic don't have any follow-up. They leave their Invoker high and dry, and that's it. A 5-hero rotation from Rave will net a kill and keep this tier 1 tower safe. Fnatic not happy to lose their Invoker there, but hey, at least they were split pushing around the map. Net getting a little bit of space. He will go for some lifesteal, the Morbid Mask. So probably this HOD build we've seen. Pick up the Helm of the Dominator, stack up the Ancients for yourself, and then just move into damage utility items, Armlet, Blink, BKB, stuff like that. Oh, daddy. More vengeance on the puck. Invoker gets a kill with the Sunstrike. Very nice there. We're going to see a rotation up top, though. Ohio in a sticky wicket here. Derp coming in, will have a Hex. Now that his Surge is done, they might be able to set this up. Breezy almost solos him, but the Finger of Death will find the kill. As Derp says, we're not messing around here, Darkseer. You're going down, buddy. Again, more pressure in the mid lane. TP gets canceled. Realizes that there are a lot of heroes lingering here in a kinetic field. It'll be basically a sure kill. Disruptor just about to find level 6, so that will be a static storm online. We'll actually take a look at the hero level chart, and Disruptor is the one that's lagging behind. The only hero in the game without the ultimate. TP coming in. Ninja Boogie caught by the cold snap. It's Ryo that's here. He goes right in on the DJ. Mid one in trouble as well. It's a fast 2-0 as Fnatic end up on the back foot. They might not be done yet. Thinking about diving that tower, Ryo will back out. Man, Fnatic getting super aggressive with these pushes. It's like they just don't... They're assuming Rave aren't going to come to defend. They stay grouped up, but not really ready to take a fight. And Rave just completely bursts down 2 of their cores. They're going to counter push now. Glyph's already been used. And they will back out and wait for the next creep wave. Rave's got to be feeling pretty good at this point. They have not gone for many farming tools, but uh-oh, now Ryer, he's in some trouble. Glimpse into Static Storm Kinetic Field. Net's there with a stun, and they should have follow-up to get this kill. Net's used the Great Cleave, and will have plenty of damage with the auto attacks. Now Vengeance back the other way. Both these mid laners getting picked on quite a bit. Puck 1 and 5, Invoker, or pardon me, Puck 1 and 3 with 5 assists, Invoker 3 and 5 with 0 assists. With the Puck dead, Fnatic will smoke up, and it looks like they are headed to the Roche pit here. Net picks up the bounty rune. Hopefully Rave weren't looking at that. And indeed they weren't. No vision in the area. Radiant will get a little vision here. They see the Ancients being taken out by Furion. They see the little Treant scouting things out. And they'll actually see it move into the Roche pit. Now they need to decide. Do we want to stay here or do we want to back out? Treant actually just wanted, just wanted the bounty rune, I think. But it'll be enough for Fnatic to back out of the pit. It gets scouted and... they feel like it's too risky a play. And it probably is, honestly. Puck in that small corridor is damn scary at this stage. No Blink Dagger, but still big damage. A silence on 3 or 4 heroes is just crippling.
Here I am.
Rave are in fighting shape, though. I mentioned the lack of farming tools. Mask of Madness up on Ursa. Commonly, you've seen that either just a casual Morbid Mask or a Vlad's. You don't really see the... Mask of Madness rushed like this that often anymore. At least I haven't. We'll probably see him go right into the Blink Dagger, but we'll see. Speaking of farming tools, there is a Hand of Midas now up on Fnatic, and one of the great things about having the Jungling Enigma is it does open up for a fast mech, so you can team fight early and then also still get those farming tools on your cores. Though no big surprise to see it on the Invoker. More than standard, especially when you're playing that Exort style. You need the experience. You got to keep up. And opens up a lot of farm. We'll see if he goes pushing style, if it's just right into that Necro book, or if he goes for a Yule's. A couple different options here for mid one. He could also just go Blink Ags. Great build to just buff up the Invoker in general. Net farming up some stacks here. Derp coming in. There's going to be a little bit of global rotation from Rapey. They drop the finger, and Net should die here. They've got plenty of auto attacks, and my God, what a great rotation. Derp picks up a haste rune to make that play happen at the beginning. Now Rapey needs to make it out. He'll use some treants to get a little bit of intel for the Disruptor. He moves into the tree line, and he'll have a TP coming up in about 10 seconds. We'll see if he can make it out here. That is the power of the Nature's Prophet. I mean, of course, they've got global presence, but coupled with a haste rune and a Finger of Death, it's just that easy. Prophet also going more of a right-click based build here, so those pickoffs are a lot easier. I was going to say easy for supports, but that was the Sven, not that he's super tanky yet. Looks like Prophet will just move into an Orchid coming out next. And with one down, Rave move right into the Roche pit, and they say, hey, this is a free Roche. Let's do it, Ursa. J.O., a.k.a. Breezy, picks up the Aegis. And now Rave are really ready to fight. Fnatic saying the same things to themselves, though. They're online at this point. They've got all of their ultimates available. They've got the mech. There's no reason not to try to take a little team fight. Though they will only group up as 3, and they don't have the numbers advantage here. Rave, they've rotated. Dream Coil on 2. They mech through it, but there should be some follow-up damage. Static Storm comes out. DJ, Black Hole gets used, but it's canceled straight away. They go 1 for 1. Lion for Enigma, but now it's Rave that have the damage. They get a 2 for 1. They'll let 3-4-3 escape, and they take the team fight. Now, all the while, there is some split pushing. Ohio at the bottom lane, as well as Net in the mid. But definitely not the team fight Fnatic were hoping for. The Black Hole instantly canceled. Take a gander at the replay here, see what that fight was all about. All right, so here we go. It's Fnatic that get aggressive to start it off. DJ comes in. Oh, man. That black hole just didn't have a chance. There wasn't really a great opening for it either. Rave were really well spread out there. I think that fight looked worse for Fnatic than it actually was. The way that they split pushed and got some space on their cores. Obviously not ideal, but Rave just did such a good job there with their positioning. I don't think there was a moment when he could have gotten off that perfect black hole. And all the while, that did leave some space for Ohio to recover. He's now level 10, has arcane boots and a blink dagger, so now he's got some initiation power. Sven just moving into S and Y, going for some utility, a little movement speed, a little maim, some extra stats, some extra attack speed. Meanwhile, mid, we'll see mid 1 initiated on, and my god, did he die fast. 3-4-3 on the run now, and they'll probably be able to chase him down. Prophet TP's into the tree line, has the sprout, and Disruptor will fall. It just feels like pickoff after pickoff as Rave continue to keep this a high-octane game. 16 kills in 16 minutes. Fnatic still trying this split around the map strategy, but at this point, I think we can say it's just not working. It could still work, but Rave are starting to get some momentum off all these kills. Doom rushing the Blink Dagger, so now they've got initiation power of their own. 3 Blink Daggers on the side of Rave. These fights have opened up for them to get a lot of mobility tools, and Lion will grab one himself. Still a little bit far off, about 1,300 gold. Only 2/3 of the way there, but 4 Blink Daggers are going to make this difficult for Fnatic. They might have great team fight, but they, right now at least, don't have the initiation tools to get these team fight spells in the right place at the right time. Tier 1 tower falls up top. Puck will get credit for that one. A little bonus goal going his way. Either a Dagon or a Yule's Scepter coming out for him. Both could work here. Given that Rave are pretty far ahead and Sven's not going right for a BKB, you can get a lot of utility out of that level 1 Dagon. Alternatively, though, Yule's great to have movement speed against this lineup. Good catch. Good ways to keep yourself alive when you're trapped in the static storm, for example. Also another tool to interrupt the black hole from Enigma. Catch the Dark Seer, get rid of his Surge. A lot of utility from a Yule's Scepter this game. So we'll see what Ryer wants to go for here. Ol Enigma closing in on his Blink Dagger. This will be the perfect time for a gank. Ryo might find him. Dream Coil right away on DJ. Doom's nearby. He's going to try to mech TP, but there's a boulder toss. And this is a freebie on the Enigma. He does just barely manage to get the Blink Dagger in time, though. Those Eidolons were working on the neutrals. And that gank doesn't hurt as much as it could have. If they could have grabbed him there right on the edge, all that unreliable gold, they could have slowed down that blink timing even more. But still a good pick off for Rave. We'll open up the map a little bit. They'll pressure this bottom tower. A tier 1 still standing, but not for long. Fnatic not even thinking about making a defense here. They won't even use their free glyph. They'll just give them a tower. Net takes a Doom in the mid, but Kinetic Field will keep Doom in place. Now mid 1 coming in. He thinks he's safe, but Rapey on the back line hits it with an Orchid, a finger to follow up. Ursa found a kill on the Disruptor before that. My god, Fnatic are just falling apart here. Pick off after pick off. And now that the Orchid's out, what does this Invoker do? He's trying to get the Yule's Scepter. That is an item that will give him something against the Yules. But man, this Prophet, I feel like he has been making this game a living hell for Fnatic. He has just been constantly TPing in these great forward positions. And whenever you think Fnatic have an exit strategy, they just don't. The Prophet's right there waiting, or there's a Lion following up with a finger. I mean, with all these Blink Daggers, Fnatic just can't get in position to make these fights work. It is 4-on-2, the blink count right now. 6 Blink Daggers in this game. Not too shabby. Another Drum of Endurance coming out for Doom. Team Bongo here. El Breezy, what are you working on, my man? Blink Mask of Madness, 2,100 gold. You know, I think Breezy could just move right into a Basher here. So little pressure has come his way. I mean, a BKB is probably the safe bet. But a Basher early on is just so much fun. Smoke from Fnatic now. 4 heroes rotating through this Radiant jungle. Bongo Boy got his drums ready for this fight. Let's make it happen. I like the thought process here from Fnatic. Hey, we just lost a fight. Their ultis are down. Let's take this window of opportunity when all of our ultimates are up. 60 seconds on the finger, about 20 on Doom. Those are key team fight abilities. But Rave are just positioned a bit too defensively. We'll see if they can find this pick onto Rave. He's going to TP out, and he makes it out in time. Now Rave, they're going to smoke themselves. What unfortunate timing for Fnatic. Oh, man. A wasted smoke. Rave smoking in the bottom lane. Going to show off this Blink Dagger from the Lion. He's about 40 XP short of that level 3 ultimate. And, of course, that does knock 60 seconds off of the cooldown. They may be a little more patient here.
Dire's top tower is under
Both
attack.
teams kind of playing a game of chicken, so to speak. Fnatic grouping up towards a push up top. And as we toggle the vision, both sides are completely blind. Radiant finally get a little bit of intel as this squiddy observer ward here sits on the high ground plateau and lets them see there is a rotation coming. Rave finally get visual intel that Fnatic are fighting, and it's not just a bait. They do have most of their team up here. Prophet will start to split push and utilize his global potential. And Breezy does have a TP scroll and the BKB coming, so he will indeed play it safe. No basher right away. Can't say that I'm bummed. The BKB makes a lot of sense, but I was looking forward to seeing some RNG bashes. This is costly for Fnatic, though. Rave are handling this almost perfectly, at least so far. Get some XP on your side heroes. Stay very far back. Force them to dive the tower before you take the fight. Ninja Boogie, though, gets initiated on. He gets the Doom off before he dies. That's at least something, but the first kill will go to Fnatic. Now Net, he's the one to take the finger. Rave might not have the damage for this fight. They're just a bit too spread out. Net getting low, but he may survive through the duration of the Doom. They end up getting the DJ off the side. 4-3 or 3-4-3, trying to run away. Kinetic Field does buy him a little bit of time. Glimpse back on Ryor. Will keep the Invoker alive a little bit longer, but now Derp follows up. Disruptor does die for his insolence, as does the Invoker. It ends a 1-for-3, close to the dream initiation for Fnatic. Well, that's not true. I guess a 4-man black hole is the dream, but they catch one to start. They use the Static Storm to bring down the Doom. He still gets his ult off, and that does kind of hurt the Sven. Stops some of his mobility, and ultimately does lead to his demise. Overall, good team fight for Rave, 22-8. They pull further into the lead now, about 7,500 gold, 10,000 experience is their favor 22 minutes into this matchup. I think we do have an instant replay here for that team fight. Although we also have a... Oh, never mind. They're pinging out Net here, acting like they want to make something happen. But it looks like they'll just back on up. All right, why is my VLC not staying muted? What's going on here, guys? Uh-oh. Are we going to see this puck in some trouble? Net's thinking about it. He's got the S&Y. He's got the blink. And they don't know which way he went. Disruptor getting pinged out. Doom on the hunt. Keep thinking kills are going to break out here. Invisibility rune for the Raptor.
I'll never see this coming.
All right, so let's take a look at this replay. Oh, we're going to miss a kill. Mid one up top. God damn it, instant replay. But again, Rapey from the backside just sets it up for the Ursa. It's a pretty easy one. Meanwhile, down bottom, are they going to grab puck here? 3-4-3, invisible. They've got the Static Storm. Oh, he almost whiffs it. Glimpses him back now right into a black hole. It's just a puck. Meanwhile, in the mid, Derp going at it with Net.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's kind of an awkward exchange here. I'm not sure Derp can take this one, and he can't. Say, who bumps into who here? Sven gets a nice freebie there. Well, a kill's a kill, and it's good to put the puck down, but a black hole at this, that's the first black hole aside from the one that was interrupted instantly. It's on cooldown for a while, and I think Rave might say to themselves once these heroes come up, hey guys, let's fight. Let's force a fight in Roche. They don't have a black hole. We know that we've got a long window here. And look at this, Rapey just goes straight in. Hey DJ, what's going on, fella? And they just bring him down. They cross the event horizon. Such an easy kill for Rave. They just move right into the Roche pit now. And it is still technically a 3v4 on the field. But they will have their heroes coming up. 2 tier 2s that they can TP to. So Rave have plenty of access points to commit to this Roche pit and still take a fight. And they really don't need to be nervous. They know that even when Enigma comes up, what's he going to do without a black hole? And they've got a lot of time on it still. Enigma very similar to Nyx Assassin and a couple of other heroes. Tidehunter as well on that front. Where you have to play around the cooldown. And sometimes not using the black hole is more valuable than using it for just a single kill. And the reason for that is the threat of it is very scary on paper. Opposition often won't push into high ground. They won't run into a 5v5 team fight if they know for sure you have those big team fight ultimates available. If they know that it's on cooldown, sort of similar to a buyback. If they don't know, then they won't push. If they know you don't have buyback, they're going for the high ground. So this should be Rave's game for at least the next 80 seconds or so as they continue to put aggression on. They'll finish off Roche. They'll get themselves another Aegis. I still wanted to look at this replay, but I feel like a team fight is budding here, and it could break out at any moment. Ninja Boogie almost caught here by the Disruptor. Okay, caught by the Disruptor. Glimpse back. Kinetic Field, Static Storm. Does Doom have any friends nearby? He does, but they might not be able to find the fight. They bump into Net. They stun him and realize, hey, we can't find the fight. Oh, way to get in there, Doom. Sorry, buddy. Ryo will be okay. Whoa! Sunstrike almost on the money. Though I think he would have survived through it. Yeah, no easy way for Rave to get into Doom. I mean, we've seen it many a time, but the power of the Disruptor right there. A long-range glimpse through that Doom into an awful position. And even though Rave was relatively close, they couldn't get in the position to save him. Net blinks into the tree line here. Unfortunate for him. Probably could have found a kill, but now Breezy shows off the BKB, goes right for DJ. They also get the Disruptor, and it's a quick 2-0 here for Rave. Ohio tries to TP home. It will happen. Net trying to TP home also. Dream Coil's already been used, and he will make it out. So if you count the Doom, it's a 1-for-2. Does cost Rave their 10-second BKB on Ursa. But I think a worthy exchange. At least for the Dire side. Yule's now up on the Invoker. And Sven moving into some attack speed. Probably the AC.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't want to harp on the AC too much, but I still think AC on Sven is more often than not a mistake. Of course, it gives you a big boost when you pick it up, having an AC at that timing. You can't just say, well, he's going to have slot issues. Let somebody else get the AC. Darkseer's other items he has to go for. Invoker's other items he's going to have to go for. It's not easy for them to farm an Assault Cuirass. But it does bottleneck the Sven a little bit. It limits his item slots, and if this ends up going late, 45, 50 minutes plus, he's eventually going to have to make that executive decision. What item do I dump here? Because he is filling that inventory with relatively low-cost items. HOD, SNY, even AC. Smaller scale compared to some of those huge items he'll pick up towards the end of the game. Your Daedalus, your BKBs. I also just like the idea of Moonshard on Sven. That heavy attack speed. Drop a Stormhammer, chop, chop, chop. 3-shot people through the full duration of the stun. You can make a pretty good case for Moonshard on that hero. Lotus Orb on the Darkseer is interesting, though. A couple of really good single-target spells to reflect, namely the Finger of Death and the Doom. A Lotus on either of those would be pretty darn big. Rave looking for an opening here. They are smoked up, rotating through the Radiant jungle, but not going to find the opening that they were looking for. Fnatic are ready to fight now. They do have their ultimates available, and we may see a clash in the jungle. Ursa going to bump right into him. Cold Snap comes out first. Still about 1 minute left on the Aegis. Invoker goes into Ghost Walk, and Fnatic will just back up. They're not really grouped up here. They don't have Net with them. And they don't want to take a fight until they can find the right angle to initiate. There's the Basher on Ursa, so he will take heed to my build suggestion here. Pretty standard stuff on Fuzzy Wuzzy. And a great item to have. With that maxed out attack speed, you're basically guaranteed a bash in that initial rotation when you blink in. Here we go. Rave grouped up as 5 down in the bottom lane. Fnatic trying to split push for now. Mid 1 is a bit far away, and actually his boots are on cooldown for 25 seconds here. So this will end up being a free tower for Rave. They win this war of attrition, and will be rewarded with another tower. They now take the outer tower advantage. 5-3, the favor of Rave. So still going to be a while before Roche comes up. Glancing at the gold graph, it's all Rave all day, man. They've been in control of this mid game. 10-figure net worth and experience lead. Take a look at the F5. BKB now up on the Prophet. And it will be the Assault Cuirass on the Sven. Well, if Fnatic take a couple of fights right as that Assault Cuirass comes out, that is a huge bump in their power curve. Of course, minus armor helps Sven and all their right clicks, but also does help beef them up. That extra attack speed is huge. It's like the Beastmaster effect. It's like hiring a Beastmaster mercenary. Hey, bro, could we just borrow your aura for a couple of team fights? Ninja Boogie just chilling down bottom, sitting on the high ground. Does have the advantage here in terms of vision going in onto net. This is aggressive. Ninja Boogie, you silly willy. Oh, God, it's painful to watch. Whew. Well, Derp was there. I think they were hoping to just hop in, drop a Doom, drop a finger, and just blow somebody up. Underestimating Fnatic's leave no man behind mentality at this point. That was like the entire team that he just blinked into. Ouch. Meanwhile, the rest of Rave up top here. Gonna pressure the last outer tower of Fnatic, and this may just be a free tier 2. They don't have God's Strength or Static Storm now. I feel like Rave are also doing a really good job of forcing Fnatic to use their cooldowns out of a succinct order. We've seen a lot of these small skirmishes, and that just never favors Fnatic. We'll see Derp down bottom. He gets stunned, gets off the Hex, but it's not going to keep him alive. Deafening Blast will have plenty of damage to finish him off, and Fnatic will get a pick off here. But Rave have done a really good job trading like 1-for-1 around the map, maybe losing a support here and there as we just saw, but forcing Fnatic to use those abilities. Get Static Storm on cooldown, get Black Hole on cooldown, even the God's Strength. Preventing them from just using that 5-man Death Ball and getting that Wombo combo is really hamstringing their strategy at large here. Raver just split farming and really playing to their strengths. This Prophet is absolutely huge. #1 on net worth, really impressive farm given that he didn't go for a Hand of Midas. A lot of this farm just came from those early rotations, early kills, Roshans. He's now got a full BKB and a Mjolnir. So still a lot of right click coming out of this Nature's Prophet. Charged, what is it? The little buff going to help out quite a bit as well. The static charge, if you will. Assault Cuirass up on net. Maybe a window of opportunity here. Window of opportunity here for Fnatic. They've also got a gem on the Disruptor. Uh-oh, up top. We're going to see mid one in some trouble. Initiation from the puck. There's the silence. Rapey living up to his name again. This time Sprout's not going to be enough. He'll pop the BKB. Ohio's deployed the wall of replica. And they won't have any way to stop the TP home. Couple of cooldowns used. They trade basically a wall of replica for a BKB on the Prophet. But Invoker does live. So good news for Fnatic there. They're finally at this point where the initiation from Rave like that is not quite as easy. They can't just utilize the Prophet +1 to TP in and just get a solo kill on anyone they want. At least now the Invoker can survive through it and get away. Most of Fnatic can at that note. I think Disruptor the only one who's super susceptible at this stage. Puck now with an ulti orb in tow. Middle of the pack in terms of farm, but he's had a pretty okay game. 3-4-11. They've definitely utilized this silence pretty effectively. Probably a sheep stick coming out for him. That's Scythe of Vice. And he actually has it. I doubt he's going to pull for buyback at this point. But a Hex is actually really big here. Rave's lineup is a little bit short on crowd controls. We talked about the Lion a lot during the draft and how instrumental he is to this lineup in terms of providing those crowd controls and adding another Hex to that, another Blink Hex at that. Now 2 ways to initiate to prevent those BKBs from coming out. This is scary stuff for Fnatic. At least they have the Lotus Orb as a purge so they can cleanse. But easier said than done when there's 2 Hexes to deal with. Roche #3, going to be a freebie here for Team Rave. That is Aegis and Cheese. Fnatic seem suspicious. They can smell that stinky cheddar from across the map, but not going to be able to get there in time. Speaking of Hex Stick, Darkseer working on one himself on the side of Fnatic, and only a couple hundred gold short. Rave might finally be in team fight form, though. So far this game, it seems like they haven't really been wanting to take a straight-up 5v5 head-on clash with Fnatic, and even the bigger team fights we've seen have still been rather spread out and somewhat sporadic. And at this point, they might finally have the tools to try and make it happen. They're going to leave Ninja Boogie in the tree line down bottom and try and bait with him. Well, they're not baiting. He's hiding in the fog. He's going to linger down here, and maybe they can try to set something up. Darkseer has the same idea, and right as NB shows himself, the Darkseer does TP home. It looks like that'll be his Hex on the way. Cheese now on the Prophet. Man, 36 minutes in. This game's slowing down. Both teams just happy as a clam, farming away. We'll see more BOTs coming about. One on the Radiant, one on the Dire. Down bottom, Ninja Boogie. Wow. That Doom just evaporates. Sven with God's Strength and a Crystallis. It makes sense. You get one crit with that thing on, and you are doing the dirty. With all these Blink Daggers, it feels like these fights are really just about initiation. 4 on the Radiant, 4 on the Dire. It's Blink Dagger madness. Disruptor and Prophet, the only two that aren't card-carrying members of the Blink Brothers Club. Fnatic clumped up as 5 in the bottom lane here. They've got the advantage while Doom is dead, and they will get this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Ryo on the way in. Yule's Scepter. Now the Prophet joining the party, but he gets hexed right away. Oh no, Rapey could be in trouble, but it's Breezy going in. There's the black hole. Connects on 2. Static Storm stops the puck from interrupting it. My God, what a beautiful play. They still bring down the Invoker here. That'll be the Aegis, and it could still be the team fight for Rave. Net gets stunned. It looks like they just don't have the damage, and Fnatic are in full retreat mode. They only lose their Invoker. Maybe the Sven as well. Yule's Scepter gives them the catch they need. He almost turns and get a kill on Rapey, but can't quite get that auto attack off. What a team fight for Team Rave. Oops. Take a look at this replay here. That Static Storm, though, that was the hero of the fight. Completely broke it up. So here we go. Instant replay. Starts with a Yule's on the Sven. Rapey gets hexed right away. Look at the black hole. He's coming in. We're going to pause it here because just look at that. Puck has the Dream Coil. Uh-oh. Are we missing a kill here? Yep, they're going to pick up on Ohio here. Nice kill, nice kill. We caught it. But just look at the placement of that Static Storm. The puck was just about to drop the Dream Coil and interrupt it. He gets it off. Puck has to go the long way around. Still interrupts it. And at the end, Fnatic just don't have the damage. That's really all it comes down to. The Invoker is a big core of their damage. Without him there through the fight, they just can't do it. Wow. This guy, though, what a player. What a player. But with that pickoff on the Darkseer, Rave should be feeling pretty happy about it. Darkseer does not have a buyback, and this will yield one more outer tower kill. And Rave may just continue on here and poke at the high ground. See if this Darkseer has a buyback or not. Aghanim Scepter on the way for the Ursa. Now they're going to go in on the mid one. He blinks back almost in time. Now the Static Storm, but there's no kinetic field. Ursa gets a bash on the Invoker. He goes down straight away. Now Finger on the Disruptor. He's dead as well. Buyback on the Invoker. Now Net trying to find his footing for this fight, but he's been hexed up. You know what they say, if you can't take the heat, you got to get out of the kitchen. And that's exactly what Rapey's trying to do. They drop the meatball from afar. They've got the Yules, and he should go down here. Completely locked in the tree line. So Fnatic will get a kill out of this. They also get the Doom, but it is costly. They lose their Invoker. He has to buy back. And they also lose their Disruptor. We'll take a look at the recap. And even with the buyback, Fnatic do still get a net worth gain there. Maybe a little too aggressive from Rave. But I'd be pretty okay forcing that buyback from the Invoker. You look at his farm overall right now, and he is broke. He is busted, man. Mid 1, level 17, 6 and 12. You look at his net worth, and he's about on par with the Enigma, who has not been having a fabulous game in terms of farm. I think mid 1 is by far struggling the most on the side of Fnatic. He's definitely died the most. You look at the KDA, everyone else is in the single digits. Ursa hasn't even died yet. 9-0 and 4, and they've killed Invoker twice as many times as the other leading death carriers. Everyone else is hovering around 6. That's actually insane. You don't see one hero stand apart from the crowd that often, and especially the mid-core. I think that speaks to how well Rave have been controlling him in these team fights. Here we go. Smoke rotation from Team Rave. All 5 clumped up on their side of the map, ready to rotate through the Radiant jungle. Net has picked up his BKB, but it hasn't been delivered yet. Oh, no. Are they going to find the courier here? If they can kill the courier before the BKB comes out, this could be huge. They grab Net. They use the Doom. They use everything. Oh, the Black Hole. It's not enough. It connects on quite a few, but the follow-up damage just isn't there. They'll get the kill on Derp from the Meatball, but now Ohio, the one that's in trouble. DJ will fall. A disastrous fight for Fnatic, and the timing couldn't have been worse. 3 heroes down, 2 of them without buyback. Oh my God, what a bittersweet story for the Sven. His BKB was so close. It's like the carrot was being dangled in front of his mouth, but they initiated on him before he could get it off. He was doomed, no way to use the BKB, and he just dies. He's gone all in on the BKB now as well, so he won't have a buyback mid-1 with an interesting idea to just press forward in the lane, maybe kill a few creeps here. He'll try to delay the push as long as he can. This may not yield racks because the lane is still pretty far out. But my God, Rave with the absolute perfect timing on that fight. Mid-1 almost gets caught, but does indeed TP out to safety.
Here I am.
Can we look at the instant replay of that? Uh-oh, we might have to hold it. Rave, they're seeing red. They see 2 members in the mid lane. They want it. Where are they going? It's the Invoker. Yules to set it up. Rapey gets glimpsed back, but pops the BKB. They want this Invoker. They know he's bought back, and if they can force a dieback, this could be huge. They get the Disruptor. He can't buy back either. Mid-1 caught by the Yules once more. Ursa on his way. They could still grab him. He gets off the blink, but DJ's here. There's a Malefice. That'll buy him some time. Jo needs to back out. They're pinging him like crazy. They should be able to get this kill on the Ursa. He goes in too deep. It's a godlike streak ended, and it does go the way of Enigma. Meanwhile, out of the base, Rapey caught by Ohio. Now the Sven's here. Stormbolt, they'll get it with the Sunstrike from the Invoker. Rave getting way too aggressive there, and a lot of that momentum they picked up goes right back the other way. That's a 4.2k net worth swing for just those 2 kills alone, and that's with the Disruptor dying. That's how far behind Fnatic are and how much that Ursa was worth. Wow. 1,500 gold on the Enigma, 1,400 on the Invoker. Top lane, Ryo might get soloed here by the Invoker. Just barely makes it out. Sunstrike's off the mark. Cold Snap's there. And Net meets him in the tree line. 1 Great Cleave will get the kill. Now back to the mid. It's Derp that gets caught. He puts the finger on the DJ. But he dies to the Midnight Pulse. He's got a Ghost Scepter. But the Midnight Pulse just ticks him down. Ninja Boogie now. What is Rave doing? It's going to be a full 5-man wipe at this rate. It's a 1-on-3. He walks through the wall of Replica. They've got the stuns. He's down. Rave are single-handedly throwing this game away. They picked up the gem. It's on the deck now. Fnatic will recover. They're going to push straight up the mid. There's only 1 hero with a buyback, and it's the damn Puck. What's he going to do in a 1v5 scenario? There's still a Black Hole, a Static Storm. No wall of Replica, but hey, that's a God's strength. They're going to truck right through these barracks. Puck buys back now. The rest of Rave stuck in the grave. They go right in onto Ryor. There's the Hex. Glimpse back right into the Stormbolt. He's from full to 0 dead. Fairy Dragon down. It's a dieback. No glyph available. And Fnatic may have just found their opening to take this game. Do they go straight for the win here? It feels ballsy. They've got tier 2 towers standing on the sides. They won't go for the all-in play. Probably a bit too risky, even though they've got the Black Hole and Static Storm. They'll get a mid lane of Barrack, and it looks like they'll rotate up top to finish off this tier 2-er. A little bit bittersweet there for Fnatic. I think if they had some of these tier 2 towers down, they could have at least gotten a tier 3, if not another lane of barracks. Look at this gold graph. I just don't have words. Rave completely getting too cocky there. Nearly 14k net worth lead at the 40-minute mark. Completely mitigated. We're back to ground zero. Fnatic have broken this game wide open. And it honestly feels like Rave just handed it to them on a silver platter. Their 2 most farmed cores diving the base, both of them dying, trading for just a Disruptor. It's a 3v4 around the map, and then just pickoffs in every lane until all 5 are dead. The cherry on top, the Puck buys back, dies without defending anything. Mid lane of Barracks still fell. That is just close to worst case scenario. And Fnatic get 2 outer towers because of it as well. Now they might catch the Lion. Oh, sweet Lion. Derp living up to his name here. He'll get Yulesed again. That'll mitigate the EMP, but he just can't get out. There's too much coming his way. And Sven will be able to get the kill. Now Ninja Boogie comes in acting like he wants to take a fight. What are you doing, Rave? This is not the team fight that you need. Now the Black Hole comes out onto Jo. They'll try to vacuum in Rave. And oh my god, the Sven is just cleaving down the team. Here we go. Buyback from the Ursa, but there's 3 down without buybacks. And I think Fnatic have actually just won this game. Another horrid team fight from Rave. I don't know why they would choose to initiate that way. It's just not how you're going to do it. This could be the final hold. They're going to go on to net, but the follow-up's there. There's the Black Hole from DJ. He's got a Refresher Orb. Breezy going down quick. Meatball to the face. He's going to hit the deck. It's a dieback, and the GG's called. It's Fnatic all day, baby, as they take game 1 in 46 minutes, 28-23, after being behind the entire match. In the final moments, the last 5, they take a team fight, push the high ground, and take the game. It is rare to see a gold graph that one-sided and then back the other way. Woo. I want to pull up the instant replay here before we cut to a break to see that final fight and that final engagement. They initiate onto Derp. He does everything he can to stay alive. He comes out, and you look at the positioning of Rave. The Prophet's not even here. Oh, man. It's just not a good team fight. Rave can't get into the same place at the same time. That whole time, DJ was just working on a refresher. He finally has it at the end. And it's enough to win the game. My God. Well, that's game 1, folks. Going the way of Fnatic. It is the best of 3 series, and we will have game 2 coming up in a jiff. I'm Zayori from moonducktv. Thank you so much for joining us here for the C Kappa Invitationals. We'll be back after this short